Hey guys, welcome to Steven's Truck Power on a Saturday. We got our N14 in the shop. If you recall, we decided to go ahead and put this in our Cabover project. We're going to get some grief probably because we took a B model cat out. The main reason we're doing this is we have the motor. It was sitting in a container. I didn't forget I had it, but it just didn't cross my mind to put it in the Cabover. We were talking B model or a big cam maybe. We still might regret it because we really don't know what's wrong with this thing, and we know it rolls over, and that's about it. Let's get it apart, see what kind of parts we're going to need. But since we already had the motor, we're already up on that as far as having to buy anything, and the cap block was going to cost us like $4 or $5 grand just in block work, not counting the crank or an engine kit. So that's kind of where we're at. And Kyle and I are here. Like I said, it's a Saturday here, and we're going to tear this baby down so we can at least see what parts we're going to need and get some things ordered so we can get her put back together. A few days or so, we're going to end up stripping the frame on the Cabover. I shouldn't say stripping, but degreasing, priming, and painting. And we got Troy from Troy's Garage coming to help us do that. Good friend of ours. I've actually known him since high school, and you want to go watch his channel. He's going to come down and help us do that. It's right up his alley. We'll have a good time doing it. So go ahead and watch. We'll try and get you a couple different angles. You'll kind of watch it as we go clear through and tear it down. Problems that might arise, we'll try and address the camera, show you what we're dealing with. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoy it. We'll get after it. Alright, hey, I was just going to show you what we do here, especially with builds that don't go right back together. But when we do an in-frame, we have parts boxes like this, and you would think we know where everything goes, and we generally do. But sometimes someone took something apart, someone else got to put it back together. So we just label these boxes. Like this one says front, this one says top. And so all of our bolts from those will be going in their own box, put on the cart, because this could, I mean, we're hoping to get it back together quick, but you know, if it had to sit for a month for some reason, it's nice to know you're not digging through one box of bolts for everything. So we got one for each side, front, bottom, top, rear. Anyway, if you're wondering, that's what we're doing. We got a little old school versus new school going on here. Oh, he broke it. Kyle's a fan of the electric guns. They're all right. I just cannot seem to get used to them. I just enjoy my air stuff. So we got air gun and an electric gun going here. There goes a clutch that we don't need anymore. We'll have a pile of parts that we got to throw away for sure.
Clutch and flywheel out. Dampener off.
So Kyle's pulling the starter off over here, and I'm just going to give my 2 cents. We'll see if I'm right or wrong. But I've done a lot of starters, and maybe this electric gun will prove me wrong, but I've found that if you struggle with a starter, the gun is not the way to get it. They'll just sit there and bounce because you get extensions on there to try and get in there, and the best way is just to fight it and get the least amount of extensions and wobblies and all that kind of stuff, and just put a big bar on it and bust it loose. But we'll see how he does here. Might have to go buy one of these guns if it takes this thing out. You can see he's trying to get back into this back. I mean, we're on the floor, right? So I mean, imagine in a dang truck. The starters can be a pain in the butt, man.
I have to put an end wrench on it.
I don't know if you'll get an end wrench on it. Bring your stuff back here now. So anyway, I was saying, let's what do you got right there? We might need that wobbly, we might not. So slide it back in here without your gun or anything. And now I'm on it. Of course, here's my distance, right? No room for a gun or anything. But if you're in a truck, you probably can't get this long of a bar, but you can usually get in there from underneath. You'll fight a starter for a long time, but if you get it in there like that, make sure you're on. Now, if you want to get a gun, you can, or you just keep wrenching, but there you go. Sometimes you just get too much bends and extensions and everything to try and use a gun. I'm a fan of air guns, but sometimes it's just easier to go old school once in a while. Sorry for the phone call. My son's buying lottery tickets. It's like 950 million. You can't not be in it, right? You can't win if you're not in it. Chances are really slim, but there's zero if you don't have a ticket.
Hey, you can tell whoever uninstalled this didn't plan on putting it back together. All your
Got the battery cable.
starter battery cables chopped off.
We're thinking this might come off a generator, which isn't all bad, but it may have a different tune in the ECM because of that, because it's constant throttle, and so we're going to have to check into some of that stuff. We're saving belts just so we know what kind of fit.
Yeah. Oh, you know, we didn't update them on what you found in the oil pan when you cleaned it.
Oh, sure. You missed part of the video because we didn't film, but we got the oil pan off so we could put some jack stands under it. When we got the pan off, I had some chunks in the bottom. I was concerned it was metal chunks, but it was actually plastic. Piston oiler that had broke off. What we don't know for sure, because we haven't looked, is this an old oiler that was in there from something else, or is that why the motor failed and that's why it's out? So as we pull it apart, we'll be able to figure that out. But yeah, there was a piston oiler stuck in the pan, so little info for you. Alright, so we got some of the little stuff off. I'm going to go ahead and work on the front cover and accessory drive. Coming apart's not as big a deal. Most pullers will pull this off. Going together, that's a different story. You got to have the right stuff. So this nut's usually extremely tight, and then this pulley is pressed on, so we'll be pulling that off. But I just got Kyle holding the crankshaft from turning over there. So when you got two guys going, we kind of did it backwards. I probably should have pulled that nut off first, but we'll make it work.
Might need a bigger mower.
Okay, getting the gun. Easier anyway, right? Got my puller set up on there. Just get this pulley off so we can pull the front cover. That's nicer when it's on the floor, no doubt about that. There you have it. One accessory drive pulley. You're going to use a pry bar right here like I'm doing. You got to be really careful because you're dealing with aluminum on both sides, and then you're going to ruin either the cover or the housing. It'll leak, so I'm not really forcing it in there.
How are we gonna wire the jakes just to that same switch that says brake saver in the truck?
This would be a lot easier if I pull the front main out, but I don't want it. I'm going to use my screwdriver that's not a pry bar. I have a pry bar. There you have it. One front cover.
One thing I've noticed is not a single plug on this thing has the little tab. They're all
tabs are all broke. Probably not really surprising because the motor sat for a long time, but it's kind of brown water. But one thing I wanted to point out, my little pet peeve, wrong fuel filter. No drop tube. Nobody cares but me.
All right, here's my pile of parts. We've got this side close to stripped. Got the turbo exhaust manifold off, thermostat housing. So far so good. Got this oil cooler mess there still, and then we'll probably start going to the top. Start going down all those. So making some progress. Probably won't go this fast building it, will it?
No.
All right, here's the update. We've got the oil cooler off. You saw the turbo and all that. So this side's close to stripped. A couple little things there. We'll get this lower radiator hose off. And then we'll keep going on this side, start taking the top off.
Got the oil pump off. I'm just going to show everybody probably knows this that's done this, but inside the oil pump where the power steering goes, there's this little cog gear. You don't want to lose that because that's what mates your oil pump to your power steering pump. So make sure you don't lose that little baby. We're not sure we're going to use that power steering pump, but that thing's gold when you need it, so don't lose it. I'm going to go ahead and pull this accessory drive and air compressor off. Most would probably separate it. I'm just going to pull it all off at once. I'll separate it on the bench because that's how I do things, I guess. So anyway, I just find it easier just to get the whole chunk off there all at once. We'll inspect it all later. So.
Doesn't even look like the cam followers have been leaking much.
Mystery. Just a little side note, pull the engine position sensor out here on the floor. It's probably no big deal, but if it's in the truck, you will not get it out with this. Without this, I should say. This is a 11/16 line socket. Got the side cut out of it. Anyway, this is a Snap-on brand, but you'll need this baby. One engine position sensor. Amazing to think one little thing like that will shut you right down, huh? So when you're pulling an accessory drive on a Cummins, you need a variety of bent wrenches to help you out. If it's in the truck, you definitely need these. I could probably get a wobbly up in there. We're going to try that. But right now, I'd be cussing because it feels like someone Loctited this bolt. And it's the worst bolt to get to, and I'd be really frustrated. But where I can sit on the job, I'll fight through it. Yep. Okay, we're all unbolted on the accessory drive. A lot of times there's a bracket going from the fuel pump to the block. It bolts right here. This one's missing. So this should just kick out of here. A little bit of persuasion. And get this line undone off of there. There you have it. Accessory drive. Just like that. Oh! Yeah, left it come out. Left the fuel pump solenoid hooked up. 3/8 end wrench. See, you get in a hurry. Look what happens. Like I said, I like pulling it off in a chunk. You can argue with me if you want. That's okay. But when we go back together, we'll separate all this, regasket everything. We won't put everything new back on this truck. I mean, we're going to try and reuse what we can. Kyle's pulling oilers out over here. Remember, we had one in the pan. Number 5. So it won't be too surprising if number 5 cylinder is scarred up like crazy because it didn't get any oil to the piston. So it's probably why this thing went down. No one bothered to pull it apart. Really not too bad of a fix. Probably could have put one cylinder in it at the time, but we'll see. Maybe there's more damage than we think. One ECM. hopefully it's good. Grab that. Yeah. One manifold.
Got it. Easy.
Look at it.
The notorious check valves. Alright, most of that side's off, most of that side's off. Still got ECM cooling plate, cam followers, and fuel return lines. I'm going to start pulling the top off here.
Little tidbit. No one-way check there. It's just a straight through thing. This thing probably had a lot of trouble starting.
Okay, rockers are out. We push tubes and injectors next. Took a lunch break. Now we're gonna get these cam followers.
So far, our cam is looking good. Oops. Don't drop your followers. This thing fell right out of it.
All right, no.
Yeah. We survived. Yeah. So, a lot of times on an N14, we'll just have one, call it gasket, but these are shims. The timing for the camshaft, so the thicker the shim, the more the follower sits out this way. But usually on an N14 you'll see one gasket. Well, I shouldn't say usually, a lot of times there'll be one gasket there, but this one's been timed with the proper tool because it does have a stack of gaskets on it. And once in a while you'll get some leak or something, and you know, you can go back together with just what was on it. A lot of people do. Get you by in general, but the right way to do it is to use the tool and get it just right by stacking shims. And so I'm going to guess that the reason these aren't leaking is that there's more than one. But you can see they're pretty thick right there. So. See where we're at. We're going to do it, you know, we'll put the tool on it and do it. We'll go back together anyway. That one's considerably thinner than that one.
It's not the same.
So what could have happened here is one of these followers is a reman that's been machined, therefore it needs more shims in it. And that back one was really thick. Unless for some reason it was not even close to correct. This front one's pretty thick also. This won't be like rocket science, but we'll measure and see what we do. Front one, and like I said, this is just ballpark. We got 51 there. This back one, 101. So either this is machined funny and it's really thin on that box, or this is just way off. I wouldn't think it would be that far off. And then the center one, is 45. So there's a lot of difference between them all. I'm not sure what the timing code is on this just yet, and where we're going to be. Wow. I'm going to mark these cam followers. Right now we don't know what we're doing as far as reusing the cam or not, but we definitely don't want to mix up the followers and have them in different spots, because they do build a wear pattern on the cam, so we want to make sure and get them back in the same spot. I'm just going to mark these, but these are going to end up getting washed in a washer, and any kind of marking I put on with paint or anything like that's going to come off. So I'm just going to tie a wire in the hole. For the number 1 cam follower, I'll put it in the front hole, and the number 2 I'll put it in the middle, and the number 3 I'll put it in the third hole, and then at least I'll know what I did. Using this telephone wire, if you don't have this, this is handy stuff. Come up with a chunk. It's just a little chunk of a bunch of wires, and anyway, they're colored, obviously. And so they're pretty handy when you're marking stuff. When you're pulling a motor, you know, you can put, if you want to match colors, you can, but you know, you'll tie up your starter wires, you know, all in one color, so you know that them are all grounds, all positives. And when you're doing a bigger job like that, it's nice to tie that stuff up. One reason, so you don't forget. Second, because if someone else is helping you put it back together, they're not wondering what goes with what. So anyway, we use this quite a bit. I've had this chunk for a long, long time. It lasts forever. Anyway, we'll just put some pieces in there. We don't care about color at the moment. So this third one, I'm just going to put in the third hole. And that way, we'll at least remember where it went. Like that. I'm sure there's a million ways to skin a cap, but that's how I'm doing it. This is number 2. Our real goal was to see what needs replaced and then decide from there. I mean, I don't want to go throw a cam in it just because I want to make it 50 more horse or something if it doesn't necessarily need a cam. So that's kind of what we were waiting to see. You know, if we had the cam bad and stuff, that maybe we would change some things up. So we'll see. We'll check the part numbers on everything, kind of decide what we're doing before we get too crazy. But anyway, this cam looks great. Hopefully it's what we want, and we'll just put her back in. I mean, it doesn't even have a mark on it. Crazy. Okay, we're down to rocker boxes. Get the heads off, and then we'll start pushing pistons out. Did get a cam. We didn't do the bearings because they are down to the copper. I don't know if you can see where I wipe my finger, but they're right down into the copper there. So if it did get a camshaft, they didn't get bearings done, which is sometimes common, but We're gonna assume number 5 piston is pretty tore up. If you remember, we were missing the oiler on.
Alright, got our homemade head lifter tool screwed in there. And we're going to look at number 5 because it's suspect. You don't even need head bolts.
You're missing the bolt. Woo. I want to tip it off the stand.
Oh, almost there, man. Maybe it had some water in there. About need a step. Alright, first glance.
Don't see much. Oh yeah, that's probably pretty hammered. Probably just need to roll it over. Let's get these off here.
Some scarring on that one, pretty good. Over there.
Oh yeah. Can't go clear around because we're hitting the jack stand we're sitting on, but if you're wondering why this thing got put out of service, that'd be it.
That's destroyed.
Yep. And of course we knew, or at least we thought we knew, because the oiler was in the pan, and turns out it was number 5 oiler, therefore our number 5 piston is all scarred up. So looks like they need some oil on the bottom of them to stay cool, huh? Alright, so got our bad hole there. I mean, obviously we're going clear through it, so it doesn't really matter what's what, but it's nice to see what the heck happened. So we're going to grind the carbon out of the top of these so we can get the pistons out. We're obviously not reusing liners or anything like that, so it just makes it easier. We'll grind this out smooth. Our jack stands that we're sitting on are hitting the crank, so it doesn't roll over real good, so we're probably just going to pull it off, lay it on its side, pop these pistons out, flip it up, get the crank out, and we'll be good to go. So a few minutes, we'll get squared away. If we were reusing, we wouldn't be doing this, but we're not.
One hole. Next one's going to be number 1. Both 1 and 6 are down.
See how easy they come out after you clean the carbon out? Alright, let's roll that.
We're Did they do fracture splits back in this day too?
No.
It's a newer science.
Yeah. It's science. You're gonna have to hold it.
Those are batteries. All the scarring and stuff.
Gonna come down out the bottom. You ready? Yep.
Oh dang, it's all broken. Look at that. That's hammered. There's a lot more room in that hole than there ought to be, huh?
Going to pull these liners out, but one thing to check for on these, you'll see it once in a while on N14, big cam a lot, but you know, when you counterbore for a shim, sometimes you get to where you have to actually put an insert in that cuts the hole bigger and puts it back to standard again, and so you got to look for that. So this is the edge of the liner, and if there was an insert, the distance between that little line and that, I don't know if you can see that or not, the distance between that little line and the edge of the liner, there'll be another section just to the outside of it, like that. And you have to look for that because there's a tool that holds that down so you don't pull it out. Anyway, this does not have that. I didn't think it would, but you always want to check because that'll cause you some grief. So I think we're good. We'll go ahead and pull these out. Break this bolt.
It's got a shim in it, doesn't it?
It's a wob one.
Alright, as you saw, we got the liners out. We've got the block tipped up on its top now. We'll
Got
pull
a few grooves there. I mean, pretty good groove in that, but I'll bet you we go to the machine shop, they can polish that out. So.
What about this number 5 where it was bad or anything? Not really.
I mean, it's not horrible. You can catch a little bit with your nail, but I think we'll just send it off to get magged and polished just for security anyway. So.
Well, sure would be nice if you had a spare N14 crank laying around.
You know, I had an N14 crank here for about 6 years that I could never sell, and I never needed it either. And then I finally sold it, and since I sold it, I've needed it about 4 times.
Yeah, we'll pull some main caps.
So, just pulling this crank out. We're going to end up putting it on a pallet. It'll go to the machine shop just to get magged and polished. Just good insurance. Make sure there's no cracks or problems before you put a bunch of money in an engine kit in it. So that's where we're at. So you've seen it all. Tear down. I don't know how long it took us. 4 hours maybe, 5 hours. It's down to bare block now. We still don't know exactly what we're doing as far as putting it back together. Most of this stuff will go back in. We'll check the CPL, we'll check the part numbers on stuff, make sure it hasn't been built to something else, but that's where we're at. So until we get ready to put it back together, it'll probably be on hold a little bit as far as the motor goes, but we're going to, next week, we're going to start on the frame on the Cabover and be able to degrease that, get some of the paint off, get it primed so that we can paint it, and get ready to put this motor back in. So next video will be frame of the Cabover.